What's up, Lions Nation, and welcome back to Lions News Fan Report, your #1 destination for breaking news, insider analysis, and all the latest rumors surrounding our beloved Detroit Lions. Before we dive into today's content, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because you do not want to miss what's coming down the pipeline. Trust me when I say that the front office might be cooking up something special, and I'm here to break it all down for you. Now, let me tell you something that happened this weekend that has me absolutely fired up about the future of this franchise. While most fans were focused on Sunday Night Football against Philadelphia, there was another game unfolding on Saturday that could have massive implications for the Lions moving forward. I'm talking about a player who's been turning heads all season long, a defensive back who's climbing draft boards faster than anyone anticipated, and someone who fits exactly what Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell look for in their defensive schemes. Stick with me through this entire video, because by the end, you're going to understand why this could be a game-changing move for our secondary. Let me set the stage for you. The Detroit Lions have built something truly special over the past few seasons. We've gone from being the laughingstock of the league to legitimate Super Bowl contenders, and a huge part of that transformation has been the exceptional scouting and talent evaluation by our front office. Brad Holmes has proven time and time again that he knows how to identify players who not only have elite physical tools, but also possess that intangible quality we call doing your job. It's a philosophy that has permeated throughout this entire organization, and it's why we've seen such dramatic improvement on both sides of the ball. Our defense, in particular, has made massive strides, but there's always room for improvement, especially in the secondary, where one elite cornerback can completely change the complexion of your defense. Now, as we approach the 2026 NFL Draft, the Lions find themselves in an interesting position. We're picking late in the first round because, let's be honest, we're going deep into the playoffs this year. That means if Brad Holmes wants to land an elite prospect, he might need to get creative. We've seen him make aggressive moves before, trading up when he identifies a player he believes can be a cornerstone of this franchise. The question becomes, who is worth that kind of investment? Who is the type of player that can elevate our defense to championship level for years to come? That's exactly what I want to explore with you today, and I promise you, the name I'm about to reveal has all the makings of a Lions cornerback. Let's talk about what the Lions need defensively. Our pass rush has been phenomenal. Our linebackers are flying around making plays, and our safeties provide excellent coverage support. But in today's NFL, you simply cannot have enough elite cornerback talent. Look at the teams that consistently compete for championships. They all have multiple corners who can lock down receivers in man coverage and make plays on the ball. That's the standard we need to reach if we want to hoist the Lombardi Trophy. The coaching staff knows this, the front office knows this, and I guarantee you they've been doing their homework on the top cornerback prospects in this upcoming draft class. Saturday's college football slate provided the perfect opportunity for Lions scouts to evaluate talent, and there was one particular game that should have had their full attention. I'm talking about a cornerback who transferred from Virginia Tech after his junior season and immediately proved why he was one of the most sought-after players in the transfer portal. This isn't just any defensive back. We're talking about someone who currently ranks as the 5th best cornerback among over 900 qualifying players according to advanced metrics. Think about that for a second. Out of nearly 1,000 cornerbacks across college football, this guy is in the top 5. That's the kind of elite production that translates to the NFL level, and it's exactly the profile Brad Holmes targets. What makes this player so special? Let me break down the tape for you. First and foremost, he fits that do-your-job mentality perfectly. He's not a flashy corner who's hunting for interceptions and leaving his assignment to make highlight plays. Instead, he's disciplined, technically sound, and consistently in the right position. He understands leverage, he plays with excellent footwork, and he has the football IQ to diagnose routes before they fully develop. Those are the characteristics that coaching staffs absolutely love because they indicate a player who can be trusted in any coverage scheme. Whether you want to play man coverage, zone concepts, or mix it up with pattern matching principles, this cornerback has shown he can execute at a high level. The production backs up the film study, too. This season alone, he's recorded 1 interception and has tied his career best with 8 pass deflections. Now, some people might look at those numbers and think they're not spectacular, but let me explain why they're actually incredibly impressive. In today's college football, quarterbacks are often scared to throw at elite cornerbacks. If you're consistently locking down your assignment and forcing quarterbacks to look elsewhere, your interception and pass deflection numbers might not be eye-popping, but that doesn't mean you're not dominating. The fact that he's still managing to make plays on the ball while being avoided by opposing offenses tells you everything you need to know about his coverage ability. Let's talk about the draft process and where this player currently stands. Right now, he's being projected as a top 10 pick in most mock drafts. That means the Lions, who will be picking somewhere in the late 20s or early 30s based on our playoff success, would need to trade up significantly to land him. Is that something Brad Holmes would consider? Absolutely. We've seen him be aggressive when he identifies a franchise-altering talent. The question is whether he views this cornerback as that type of player. Based on everything I've studied, the fit is absolutely there. This is a cornerback who checks every single box: elite athleticism, proven production against top competition, the right mentality and work ethic, and a skill set that translates perfectly to the NFL. Here's where it gets really interesting for Lions fans. The SEC has been the proving ground for NFL talent, especially at the cornerback position. Playing in that conference means you're facing elite wide receivers and high-powered offenses every single week. There's no hiding. There's no easy games. You're constantly being tested against players who will be competing on Sundays. This cornerback has thrived in that environment, which tells you he's ready for the next level. When Brad Holmes and his scouting staff evaluate prospects, they place enormous emphasis on competition level and consistency. It's one thing to dominate against inferior talent. It's another thing entirely to excel week after week in the best conference in college football. The Tigers played Arkansas this past Saturday, and you better believe Lion scouts were in attendance taking detailed notes. Every snap was evaluated, every technique was scrutinized, and every decision was analyzed. That's the level of thoroughness that has made the Lions one of the best drafting teams in the NFL. Brad Holmes doesn't just watch highlight reels, he studies the complete body of work. He wants to know how a player responds to adversity, how they handle different coverage responsibilities, and whether they have the mental makeup to succeed at the highest level. From everything I've seen and heard, this cornerback passes all those tests with flying colors. Now, let me connect the dots for you on why this makes so much sense for Detroit. Imagine our defense with an elite lockdown corner who can eliminate the opponent's number one receiver. That would allow our defensive coordinator to be even more creative with pressures and coverage disguises. We could be more aggressive with our pass rush, knowing we have someone on an island who can hold up in coverage. It would also take pressure off our safeties, allowing them to be more involved in run support and creating havoc in the box. This is the type of addition that doesn't just improve one position, it elevates the entire defense. The financial aspect makes sense, too. If the Lions trade up to select this cornerback, they'd be getting an elite talent on a rookie contract for the next 4 or 5 years. That's incredibly valuable in today's salary cap era where veteran cornerbacks are commanding massive contracts. By investing draft capital to move up and secure a franchise corner, the Lions would be setting themselves up for sustained success. You'd have a cost-controlled elite player during his prime years, which allows you to allocate resources to other positions and build a complete roster. That's exactly the type of strategic thinking that has made Brad Holmes one of the best general managers in football. Let me paint you a picture of what our defense could look like with this addition. Up front, we'd still have our dominant pass rush, creating havoc in the backfield. Our linebackers would continue flying around making tackles and disrupting passing lanes. But now, on the back end, we'd have a true number one cornerback who can match up with the best receivers in the NFL. That means when we face teams like the 49ers with their elite weapons, or the Cowboys with their explosive passing attack, or any of the high-powered offenses in the NFC, we'd have the personnel to shut them down. That's the difference between being a good defense and being a championship defense. The timing of this potential move is perfect too. Our championship window is wide open right now. We have an elite quarterback in Jared Goff playing at an MVP level. We have one of the best offensive lines in football. We have playmakers all over the field on offense. Our defense has been good, but adding an elite cornerback would make us great. This isn't about rebuilding or developing for the future. This is about going all in to win a Super Bowl. If Brad Holmes believes this cornerback is the missing piece, I fully expect him to be aggressive in pursuing him. And here's the name you've been waiting for: Mansour Delane from LSU. This is the cornerback I've been describing throughout this entire video, and this is the player who could be wearing Honolulu blue next season. Delane transferred from Virginia Tech and has been absolutely sensational for the Tigers. He's got everything you want in a modern NFL cornerback: size, speed, technique, intelligence, and production. The fact that he ranks 5th among over 900 qualifying corners tells you he's not just good, he's elite. The fact that he's drawing top 10 consideration tells you NFL teams view him as a franchise-altering talent. And the fact that he fits the Lions' philosophy perfectly tells you Brad Holmes should absolutely be considering a trade-up to land him. Think about what Mansour Delane would bring to this defense. He'd immediately step in as a starter and give us that lockdown presence we've been missing. He'd allow our defensive coordinator to be more aggressive with his play calling. He'd take pressure off the rest of our secondary, and most importantly, he'd give us the type of cornerback you need to win in January and February. Championship teams have elite corners, and Delane has all the tools to become exactly that type of player. The draft process still has a long way to go, and we'll see how his stock continues to develop. But right now, he looks like a perfect fit for what the Lions need. So here's what I want to know from you, Lions Nation. Do you think Brad Holmes should trade up to get Mansour Delane? I'm constantly monitoring everything happening with this team, from draft prospects to free agency targets to insider information, and I bring it all to you with detailed analysis you won't find anywhere else. Share this video with your fellow Lions fans because we need to spread the word about Mansour Delane and why he could be the next great cornerback in Detroit. Follow me on social media for additional content and real-time updates. Remember, this is your home for everything Detroit Lions, and I'll see you in the next video with more breaking news and exclusive insights. One Pride, let's go get that championship.